Welcome to Storytime with Nanny. This is day 45. Now you're going to have to pardon these books, but they've been around for years and years, and many, many, many children have handled them, and after a while, that's why we have to be very careful. This one was actually mine, and some of these are older. This was one that I told you my mom was getting, they've moved and they were trying to get rid of some things, and this is one of them. And it's a book I had when I was a little girl called Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's illustrated by Gavy, G-A-V-Y. It doesn't have who it was adapted by, but it's printed by Rand, McNally and Company. So they adapted it. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. He followed her to school one day, which was against the rule. It made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. And so the teacher turned him out, but still he lingered near and waited patiently about till Mary did appear. Then he ran to her and laid his head upon her arm, as if he said, "I'm not afraid, you'll keep me from all harm." "What makes the lamb love Mary so?" the eager children cried. "Oh, Mary loves the lamb, you know," the teacher did reply. "And you each gentle animal in confidence may bind, and make it follow at your will, if you are only kind." And I did love that story when I was a little girl, and it is a song. And the neighbor's dog is back. So as you can tell, it's, I told you, it seems like everybody puts their animals down here, and we have more than enough that we've had. We've had the neighbor's pig and goat, I told you. And I've made some videos. I want to show that to y'all. I need my daughter to help me get those posted because it's on my phone. But the neighbors came back to try to get the goat and pig to come back. They traveled together, and the goat and pig, they could get the goat to go, but not the pig. The pig stayed here, and then the goat cannot. The pig loves the goat too, and she doesn't like to be away from her, but the goat cannot stand to be away from the pig. And so they got the goat to go, but then the goat came back here because the pig was here, and they're like, "You know what? We can't get them to stay. They obviously think this is their new home. You love them. They're yours now." So, and then the neighbor dog, Scott, is back again today, visiting. So, I don't know. It's funny because I love that book, and I have always tried to be very kind and sweet and gentle with animals when they let me. We've already talked about before, we don't pet strange animals that we don't know, because you don't know how they'll react. So we just stay away from them, but it does seem like animals seem to gather around me. We've got a lot of good books. This one, also my mom gave me, it's a tall book of Mother Goose. You see, it's a tall book. I don't know whose book this was. I don't remember this book being mine or ever seen this book before. So I have no idea where it came from. And it being the tall book of Mother Goose, and it's Mother Goose Nursery Rhymes. They've been around for so long, I guess they don't even know where they originated from. It does say pictures by Feodor, F-E-O-D-O-R, and I would have to spell Rojansky, R-O-J-A-N-K-O-V-S-K-Y. It's a Harper and Brothers Publishers. And some of these, I was reading through this, I don't even remember hearing when I was a kid. And some of them I do. Sulky Sue. Here's Sulky Sue, what shall we do? Turn her face to the wall till she comes to. I guess nobody wanted to look at her if she's going to pout, did they? Tommy Tittlemouse. Little Tommy Tittlemouse lived in a little house. He caught fishes in other men's ditches. So it just shows him throwing his fishing pole out in a little creek. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I." Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating of curds and whey. There came a big spider and sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts all on a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole the tarts and took them clean away. The King of Hearts called for the tarts and beat the Knave full sore. The Knave of Hearts brought back the tarts and vowed to steal no more. There was an old woman lived under a hill, and if she's not gone, she lives there still. Porridge hot, porridge cold, porridge in the pot, 9 days old. Some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it in the pot, 9 days old. Little Polly Flanders sat among the cinders, warming her pretty little toes. Her mother came and caught her and whipped her little daughter for spoiling her nice new clothes. This little piggy went to market, this little piggy stayed home, this little piggy had roast beef, this little piggy had none, this little piggy cried wee 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 all the way home. And we usually do that when we're counting our toes, don't we? If y'all are familiar with that one. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and whipped them all soundly and sent them to bed. There was a piper had a cow, and he had naught to give her. He pulled out his pipe and played her a tune and bade the cow consider. The cow considered very well and gave the piper a penny and bade him play the other tune, Corn Rigs or Bonnie. I guess she liked him playing. I had a little hobby horse, it was a dapple gray. Its head was made of pea straw, its tail was made of hay. I sold it to an old woman for a copper groat, and I'll not sing my song again without another coat. Little Betty Blue lost her holiday shoe. What shall little Betty do? Give her another to match the other, and then she'll walk in two. As I was going up Pippin Hill was dirty. There I met a pretty lass, and she dropped me a curtsy. Little miss, pretty miss, blessings light upon you. If I had half a crown a day, I'd spend it all upon you. Goosey, goosey, gander, where shall I wander? Upstairs and downstairs and in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man that would not say his prayers. I took him by the left leg and threw him down the stairs. 3 little kittens lost their mittens, and they began to cry. Oh, mother dear, we sadly fear our mittens we have lost. What, lost your mittens, you naughty kittens? Then you shall have no pie. Meow, meow, meow. The 3 little kittens found their mittens, and they began to cry. Oh, mother dear, see here, our mittens we have found. What, found your mittens, you good little kittens? Then you shall have some pie. Purr, purr, purr. The 3 little kittens put on their mittens and soon ate up the pie. Oh, mother dear, we greatly fear our mittens we have sold. What, sold your mittens, you naughty kittens? Then they began to sigh. Meow, meow, meow. The 3 little kittens washed their mittens and hung them up to dry. Oh, mother dear, look here, our mittens we have washed. What, washed your mittens, you darling kittens? But I smell a rat close by. Hush, hush, hush. I guess she's going to catch her mouse. Simple Simon met a pieman going to the fair. Said Simple Simon to the pieman, let me taste your ware. Says the pieman to Simple Simon, show me first your penny. Says Simple Simon to the pieman, indeed I have not any. He went to catch a dicky bird and thought he could not fail, because he'd got a little salt to put upon his tail. Simple Simon went a-fishing for to catch a whale. All the water he could find was in his mother's pail. He went to ride a spotted cow that had a little calf. She threw him down upon the ground, which made the people laugh. Simple Simon went to look if plums grow on a thistle. He prickled his fingers very much, which made poor Simon whistle. He went for water in a sieve, and soon it all ran through, and now poor Simple Simon bids you all adieu. Wee Willie Winkle runs through the town, upstairs, downstairs, in his nightgown, rapping at the window, crying through the lock. Are the children in their beds? For now it's 8 o'clock. They that wash on Monday have all the week to dry. They that wash on Tuesday are not so much awry. They that wash on Wednesday are not so much to blame. They that wash on Thursday wash for shame. They that wash on Friday wash in need. And they that wash on Saturday, oh, that they are bad indeed. Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to get her poor dog a bone. When she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, and when she came back, he was smoking a pipe. She went to the fruiter's to buy him some fruit, but when she came back, he was playing the flute. She went to the tailor's to buy him a coat, but when she came back, he was riding a goat. She went to the barber's to buy him a wig, but when she came back, he was dancing a jig. She went to the tavern for white wine and red, and when she came back, the dog stood on his head. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes, but when she came back, he was reading the news. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a good fat hen. 11, 12, dig and delve. 13 and 14, maids are courting. 15, 16, maids in the kitchen. 17, 18, maids are waiting. 19, 20, my platter's empty. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack jumped over the candlestick. And I loved this one when I was a little kid. I don't know why, I just loved it. Hey diddle diddle, the cat in the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such a sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Cross patch, draw the latch, sit by the fire and spin. Take a cup and drink it up, and call your neighbors in. Hush-a-bye, baby, daddy is near, mama is a lady, and that's very clear. Rock a cock horse to Banbury Cross, to see a fine lady upon a white horse. Rings on her fingers and bells on her toes, she shall have music wherever she goes. Great A, little a, bouncing B, the cat's in the cupboard and can't see me. There was a little man, and he had a little gun, and his bullets were made of lead, lead, lead. He went to the brook and saw a little duck, and shot it right through the head. He carried it home to his old wife Joan. He bade her a fire to make, to roast the little duck he had shot in the brook, and he'd go and fetch the drake. The drake was swimming with his little curly tail. The little man made its mark. He let off his gun, but he fired too soon, and away flew the drake with a quack, quack, quack. That was a happy ending for the last duck anyway. What are little boys made of? What are little boys made of? Snakes and snails and puppy dog tails, and that's what little boys are made of. What are little girls made of? What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and all that's nice, and that's what little girls are made of. Tom, the piper's son, stole a pig, and away he run. The pig was eat, and Tom was beat, and Tom went crying down the street. The north wind doth blow, we soon shall have snow, and what will poor Robin do then, poor thing? He'll sit in a barn to keep himself warm and hide his head under his wing, poor thing. Dr. Foster went to Gloucester in a shower of rain. He stepped in a puddle up to his middle and never went there again. Cold and raw, and the north winds blow bleak in the morning early. All the hills are covered with snow, and winter's now come fairly. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty Dumpty together again. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Little Johnny wants to play. Ring a roses, a pocket full of posies. Tisha, Tisha, we all fall down. It's funny because I've heard that one, but not in that version. It was a different version of it. I saw a ship a-sailing on the sea, and oh, it was all laden with pretty things for thee. There were comfits in the cabin and apples in the hold. The sails were made of silk, and the masts were made of gold. The 24 sailors that stood between the decks were 24 mice with chains around their necks. The captain was a duck with a packet on his back, and when the ship began to move, the captain said, "Quack, quack." Kitty cat, where have you been? I've been to London to look at the Queen. Kitty cat, what did you do there? I frightened a little mouse under the chair. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock struck one, the mouse ran down, hickory dickory dock. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers three. Every fiddler had a fine fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Tweed, twiddle-dee, went the fiddlers. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with King Cole and his fiddlers three. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, he called for his bow, and he called for his harpers three. Every harper he had a fine harp, and a very fine harp had he. Twang, twang, a twang went the harpers. Tweed, twiddle-dee, went the fiddlers. Oh, there's none so rare as can compare with King Cole and his harpers three. Spring is showery, flowery, bowery. Summer hoppy, croppy, poppy. Autumn wheezy, sneezy, freezy. Winter slippy, drippy, nippy. Lucy Locket lost her pocket. Kitty Fisher found it. There was not a penny in it, but a ribbon round it. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and can't tell where to find them. Leave them alone and they'll come home, wagging their tails behind them. Little Bo Peep fell fast asleep and dreamt she heard them bleating, and when she awoke she found it a joke, for they were still a-fleeting. Then up she took her little crook, determined for to find them. She found them indeed, but it made her, I actually didn't really mean to read this one. We're going to skip over some of the parts, because some of this I can't believe that was actually for children. It happened one day, little Bo Peep, she found her lost sheep, and she ran over a hill and dale and tried what she could, as a shepherdess should, to keep her sheep safe. And we'll just leave it at that. Curly locks, wilt thou be mine? Thou shalt not wash dishes, nor yet feed the swine, but sit on a cushion and sew a fine seam, and feed upon strawberries, sugar, and cream. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. He followed her to school one day, which was against the rule. It made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. And so the teacher turned him out, but still he lingered near, and waited patiently about till Mary did appear. What makes the lamb love Mary so? The eager children cry. Oh, Mary loves the lamb, you know, the teacher did reply. To bed, says sleepy head, tarry a while, says slow. Put on the pan, says greedy Nan, we'll sup before we go. To market, to buy a fat pig, home again, jiggity jig. To market, to buy a fat hog, home again, jiggity jog. This is the house that Jack built, this is the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cow with a crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the priest all shaven and shorn that married a man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cock that crowed in the morn that waked the priest all shaven shorn that married the man all tattered and torn that kissed the maiden all forlorn that milked the cow with a crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the farmer sowing the corn that kept the cock that crowed in the morn, that waked the priest all shaven shorn, that married the man all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog, that worried the cat, that killed the rat, that ate the malt, that lay in the house that Jack built. It's all connected, wasn't it? Ride away, Johnny shall ride, and he shall have kitty cat tied to one side, and he shall have little dog tied to the other, and Johnny shall ride to see his grandmother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I caught a hare alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I let her go again. January brings the snow, makes our feet and fingers glow. February brings the rain, thaws the frozen lake again. March brings breezes loud and shrill, stirs the dancing daffodil. April brings the primrose sweet, scatters daisies at our feet. May brings flocks of pretty lambs, skipping by their fleecy dams. June brings tulips, lilies, roses, fills the children's hands with posies. Hot July brings cooling showers, apricots and gillyflowers. August brings the sheaves of corn, then the harvest home is born. Warm September brings the fruit, sportsmen then begin to shoot. Fresh October brings the pheasant, then go gather nuts and is pleasant. Dull November brings the blast, then the leaves are whirling fast. Chill December brings the sleet, blazing fire and Christmas tree. Ding dong bell, Kitty in the well, who put her in, little Johnny Green, who pulled her out, little Johnny Stout. What a naughty boy was that to try to drown poor kitty cat, which never did him any harm, but killed the mice in father's barn. And he was mean, wasn't he? Pickety, pickety, my black hen, she lays eggs for gentlemen. Gentlemen come every day to see what my black hen doth lay. Punch and Judy fought for a pie. Punch gave Judy a knock in the eye. No, that's not nice. Says Punch to Judy, will you have any more? Says Judy to Punch, my eyes are too sore. Mistress Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow, with silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row? Kitty sits by the fire, how did she come there? In walks little doggy, says Kitty, are you there? How do you do, Mistress Kitty? Mistress Kitty, how do you do? I thank you kindly, little dog, I do as well as you. Cot lock the dairy door, lock the dairy door. Hen chickle chackle chee, I haven't got the key. Where are you going, my pretty maid? I'm going a milking, sir, she said. May I go with you, my pretty maid? You're kindly welcome, sir, she said. What is your father, my pretty maid? My father's a farmer, sir, she said. What is your fortune, my pretty maid? My face is my fortune, sir, she said. Then I can't marry you, my pretty maid. Nobody asked you, sir, she said. So he was just looking, he was wanting to get married, but he's wanting to marry somebody with money. She didn't have any money. So he wasn't interested. And she said, well, why did you, more or less it was, why did you think I'd be interested in marrying you anyway? She don't want to marry somebody like that. Handy pandy, Jack-a-dandy, loves plum cake and sugar candy. He bought some at a grocer's shop, and out he came, hop, hop, hop. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in the counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, when down came a blackbird and snapped off her nose. I think in later versions it talks about nipping her nose. Say these older ones, it's like, one misty, moisty morning, when cloudy was the weather, I chanced to meet an old man clothed all in leather. He began to compliment, and I began to grin. How do you do, and how do you do, and how do you do again? Little Tommy Tucker sings for his supper. What shall we eat? White bread and butter. How will we cut it without a knife? How can he marry without a wife? Cry, baby, cry. Put your finger in your eye and tell your mother it wasn't I. I love little Kitty, her coat is so warm, and if I don't hurt her, she won't do me any harm. So I'll not pull her tail, nor drive her away, but Kitty and I very gently will play. Georgie, porgy, pudding, and pie, when the boys came out to kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Then up Jack got, and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and plastered his head with vinegar and brown paper. Little Robin Redbreast sat upon a tree. Up went Kitty and down went he. Down came Kitty and away went Robin. Ran, says little Robin Redbreast, catch me if you can. Little Robin Redbreast jumped upon a wall. Kitty jumped after him and almost had a fall. Little Robin chirped and sang, and what did Kitty say? Kitty said meow, and Robin jumped away. 30 days have September, April, June, and November. February has 28 alone. All the rest have 31, except in leap year. That's the time when February's days are 29. Leg over leg, as the dog went to Dover. When he came to a stile, jump he went over. Little Nanny had a coat and a white petticoat and a red nose. The longer she stands, the shorter she grows. There was a crooked man, and he went a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. Christmas is coming, please put a penny if you haven't got a penny. Christmas is coming, the geese are getting fat. Please do put a penny in an old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, God bless you. Once I saw a little bird come hop, hop, hop. So I cried, little bird, will you stop, stop, stop? I was going to the window to say how do you do, but he shook his little tail and away he flew. Lady bird, fly away home. Your house is on fire, your children all gone. All but one, and her name is Anne, and she crept under the pudding pan. This was a picture of a little bird nest. Three blind mice, see how they run, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife. She cut off her tail with a carving knife. Did you ever see such a sight in your life as 3 blind mice? Barber, barber, shave a pig. How many hairs will make a wig? 4 and 20, that's enough. Give the barber a pinch of snuff. A diller, a dollar, a 10 o'clock scholar. What makes you come so soon? You used to come at 10 o'clock and now you come at noon. Shoe the coat, shoe the colt, shoe the wild mare. Here a nail, there a nail, yet she goes bare. Pit-a-pat, well a day, little robin flew away. Where can little robin be? Up in yonder cherry tree. Monday's child is fair of face, Tuesday's child is full of grace, Wednesday's child is full of woe, Thursday's child has far to go, Friday's child is loving and giving, Saturday's child works hard for its living, but the child that's born on the Sabbath day is blithe and bonny and good and gay. Where, oh where has my little dog gone? Oh where can he be? With his tail cut short, his ears cut long, oh where can he have gone? Seesaw, Marjorie doll, Jackie shall have a new master, he shall have but a penny a day, because he can't work any faster. Willie boy, where are you going? I will go with you if that I may. I'm going to the meadow to see them a-mowing. I'm going to help them make the hay. Bob, Bob, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. 1 for my master, 1 for my dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives in the lane. I had a little nut tree, nothing would it bear, but a silver nutmeg and a golden pear. The king of Spain's daughter came to visit me, and all was because of my little nut tree. I skipped over water, I danced over sea, and all the birds in the air couldn't catch me. There was a little girl, and she had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead, and when she was good, she was very, very good, and when she was bad, she was horrid. Polly put the kettle on, Polly put the kettle on, Polly put the kettle on, and let's have tea. Sookie, take it off again, Sookie, take it off again, Sookie, take it off again. They've all gone away. Here I am, little jumping Joan. When nobody is with me, I'm always alone. Needles and pins, when a man marries, his trouble begins. Bye, baby bunting, daddy's gone a-hunting to get a little rabbit skin to wrap the baby bunting in. Old Mother Goose, when she wanted to wander, would ride through the air on a very fine gander. Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. He put her in a pumpkin shell, and there he kept her very well. Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean, and so betwixt both of them they licked the platter clean. Pat a cake, baker's man, bake me a cookie as fast as you can. Roll it and pat it and mark it with a B and put it in the oven for baby and me. So that's not the same version I grew up with. Taffy was a Welchman, Taffy was a thief. Taffy came to my house and stole a piece of beef. I went to Taffy's house, Taffy was not home. Taffy came to my house and stole a marrowbone. I went to Taffy's house, Taffy was in bed. I took up the marrowbone and beat him on the head. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, cradle and all. Dickory, dickory, dare, the pig flew up in the air. The man in brown soon brought him down. Dickory, dickory, dare. The man in the moon came down too soon to inquire the way to Northwich. The man in the south, he burned his mouth eating cold peas porridge. Bobby Shaftow's gone to sea, silver buckle on his knee. He'll come back and marry me, pretty Bobby Shafto. Bobby Shaftow's fat and fair, combing down his yellow hair. He's my love forevermore, pretty Bobby Shafto. And some of these I have never heard of. So I dare say y'all have not heard some of those, if not more than several of those yourselves. And actually, that's all that we have time for today. And we have another, like I said, you're going to have to excuse some of the condition, the shape some of these books are in, that have been around longer than I have. So many children have used them. This one was years before me, and it's also got some more nursery rhymes. So when we read that for next week, I'm going to try to maybe not read every single one. If we just read them in here, if I can remember which ones we read, because that's from next week, and I'm reading these this week. But some of them are just told in a different version. And they've also got songs, but with my singing voice, I'm going to spare y'all. But we will, we've got some more books ready to read for next week that we didn't get to read this week, and including a Dr. Seuss book that doesn't have a back or a front. It's so old, and it's one that I don't even remember ever hearing in my life. So excuse me, we got lots of good books to read for next week. So I hope you join us, and thank you for tuning in today for Storytime with Nanny Day 45. And you have a great, blessed, wonderful day.